Welcome to the No Name Yet podcast. That is a podcast with no name. And on tonight's show is the woman who is renovating her house and is now living on her patio eating Funyuns and hot dogs. Hey! And also on tonight's show is the man who is in high demand in the podcast world. So you better jump on him while you have the chance. EJ!
Very high demand.
And the other guy on the show joins us again. And he's here wearing the same clothes that he had on when he was a kid that they bought him from Sears, and he's looking dapper.
I don't think my parents could afford Sears. I don't think
JC Penney's then.
Maybe a lot of black people did like JC Penney. I don't even know if we had Sears in the city.
I was gonna say Kmart.
Really,
maybe.
JC Penney?
Yeah.
They had
I
great
don't have
khakis.
any idea how that introduction is going to sound. I'm not going to do it over. I think I had my mic too hot because I heard some bad noises in my headset.
I mean, you peaked a little bit, but that's fine.
All right.
Yeah, you really
Well,
went
welcome
in
everybody to the show.
This is crazy. That was a great entrance.
And if we could bring this up, speaking of J.C. Penney,
I'm still thinking about how JC Penney was like a diving off point for him. My man was ready with a story or something.
yeah, yeah. Where was I? Saw some kids here. Was as I was trying to get. Here's the Sears right here. But I saw some kids with J.C. Penney clothes on. There, right there, right here. There's
Bunch
JC.
of black kids.
Yep. There was one black girl there. Yeah.
Gotta have them.
Oh, Mo.
So look at all those old styles. Yep. I don't even see any Montgomery Wards. There's Sears. Where did you so Pat, where did you buy your kids' clothes?
Gee, that's a good question. Carl Company in Boston store.
Oh,
Out of business. Carl Company was local, and the Boston store, I think they went out of business years ago, didn't they?
Oh, yeah. Boston store had a tragic end.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah, they moved out of Mohawk Mall and they moved to Latham Circle Mall. They were kind of a local or regional department store, and a disgruntled employee set their warehouse on fire.
Oh my God.
And it bankrupted them, and they went out of business.
I did not know that.
Yes.
Wow.
The Boston store was a pretty nice store.
Bring it back. Bring it back.
This is why you got to keep your employees happy.
Yeah. Carl, well, I'm not going to.
Donuts and coffee happy.
I think there's other ways to work out an employer dispute other than a fire.
I mean,
Arson.
The question was the boss giving donuts?
I don't know. But anyway, so we have EJ, we have Mo, and we have Pat. So it's nice to have everybody here.
Great to be back. What's going on?
So I thought I'd start that Pat has another incident. Well, she didn't have that first cake incident. That was Rebecca.
That was Rebecca.
If y'all remember Rebecca's cake incident. where she ordered the unicorn cake for her daughter.
Penis cake.
A
The
lovely cake, and when she went to go pick it up, the person who made it made the horn look like a big
That was a
penis.
Yep.
I thought Mo was lying. I was like, wait.
No, not lying at all.
I was like, Mo's just talking garbage, but it was true.
No, and I didn't queue up the picture so we could revisit it.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
wow.
what I was looking for right now. I can't find it either.
But I do
Greatest cake.
have Pat's pictures of her cake incident.
Oh God! Did you order from the same place, Pat?
No,
No,
this
no.
is-
I was thinking maybe it was them having this issue.
this is a different place.
Different
They
place.
wanted to become the sex edible store.
So here we are, right here. This is the catalog picture for the cake that she wanted to order
Good Lord.
for a deacon in the church that was being
These are the
ordained.
most boring looking cakes I've ever seen in my life.
This is gorgeous compared to what you're going to see.
So I mean, just take a look. Just take a look at it. I mean, there's a silver cross.
These cakes look like they should be on sale at every wall.
And they didn't even have. They told Pat up front that they didn't have the silver cross.
No, they said up front. They told me they were going to spray it like the sky, and they were going to say congratulations, Jeremy, and they were going to have flowers all around it, and it was going to include that silver cross.
I misunderstood you.
If anybody is watching this and see this cake and they believe in God, you should be insulted and just post a bunch of pictures of your own holy cake. This may test your faith right now.
Well, so Pat, can we openly trash the store that you purchased this?
Well, I don't know, because the first lady, it was BJ's. The first lady told me she was going to make this a masterpiece. But when my husband went to pick it up the next day, it was a novice. And she said, well, I was reading your instructions and that's what I thought you wanted. Where the original lady, I thought was going to do it. But
listen, BJ
is for bulk shopping, not the cake.
You know, that if this novice this person wasn't a novice. This was somebody from the sandwich location.
yeah, I believe it.
Like this is bad.
Well, the lady made a promise that she didn't keep. She said she was going to do it.
She was going to do it. She was going to spray paint it like it was the sky, whatever they call spray. I don't know. And she was going to decorate it very tastefully.
That cake looks like a tombstone.
Well, that's
all right.
cake.
Now, here's what she got.
Oh Lord. Did you get like a discount on this cake, or you still have to pay full price?
Well, go ahead, Pat. Tell them what you did.
So now my husband goes to pick it up. We had a big schedule that day. I had to get over to see my brother who came in from South Carolina. Had to be at church by 12 o'clock. It is now 11:15. So I said to my husband, I said, you need to tell me you accepted this cake? Now that's not usually me. So I called BJ's and I said, I'm at church in 45 minutes. I was expected, and I went through what I expected. I said, I can't bring this to the church. So I said, I don't know what to do. I said, can you make me another cake? She goes, well, give me a half hour. Come here about 12 o'clock. I'll see what I can do. So I'm furious. So now we get there at 12 o'clock, late for church, and the manager looks at the cake and he goes, I can see why you didn't want this cake. So now the girl, and she's probably all of 16 years old.
Oh, okay. All right.
She comes on. Do you have a picture of the other cake? the third cake, the cake that I finally brought. Do you have a picture of that one?
Let's
see, where is this? Oh, here we go. Here we go.
All right, stay right there. A little better. A little better.
I'll say words because
there's flowers in the corners. Yeah.
Can't keep it up.
All right. We got a good look at it.
Okay.
That looks better than the first one.
Yeah.
But here I'm thinking I'm going to have this beautiful masterpiece. And it was the one that you just saw. And who thought it looked like a shamrock? Somebody said a shamrock.
I can't remember.
Oh my goodness. I thought about the same thing. Not only that, did they disrespect the Irish? They also they didn't put no color into this.
They disrespected their religion.
They disrespected Jesus.
I think that they have actual children working in their bakery section in BJ's, and I think we need to investigate that because that cake, no adult should be making a cake that looks like that.
Exactly.
Child labor laws.
Yeah.
I could do a better cake than this.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Here
Look at this. This cake looks like this is what you send to somebody at a retirement home because they can't see no more. Like,
I mean, if Jesus was hanging on that cross, it seems like it would be a much more comfortable hang than he had.
Much more. It was a bed. It was a bed.
So now we're going to church and we're late, of course. So then I had to laugh. I said to my husband, I said, well, it could have been a lot worse. It could have been Rebecca's cake that we could never have taken. So that was
Jesus died on a cloud, ladies and gentlemen.
To be fair, that would be funny, showing up with the unicorn cake to church. Everybody grab a slice, children too.
So then I'm thinking,
who wants the tip? Who wants the tip?
So I was wondering what Rich was thinking when we didn't get there on time, and we finally pulled in about 20 after 12 or so.
Well, I mean, I did wonder where you were. But...
Where's the cake? Oh,
listen,
that would have.
So, could you tell us what BJ's, so the people know not to go to this BJ's and buy cakes for them, because this part of BJ's needs to go out of business. Just stick to cookies or something, because
it's in Rotterdam, New York. But usually they do a nice job for me because
I don't know.
They'll do the photo cake. I'll bring them a photo and they make the nice wafer, the edible wafer photo cake. So
I'm gonna need BJ's to have a whole thing where whoever makes the cakes, they have to sign a paper. So if you say I'm the one doing the cake, you gotta, and you say, oh, I'm paying this person. They should be more like independent contractors. Like, if I want this person is good, I'm just gonna stick to this person, and anybody that sucks, we get rid of them. Just go to the sandwich selection, okay?
Yeah.
Just move over there. Your hands is better for bologna.
And then the manager says, "Well, you know what? Why don't you wait a few minutes, and I'll go get you a $5 discount." I'm like, oh no, we're already late for church. I'm not waiting for a $5 discount.
You should have picked a happy birthday cake that was pre-made.
Oh, unbelievable.
You could have did a whole thing on your own. You could have got a happy birthday cake, erased the letters, and just drew it.
Yeah, exactly.
And the thing about it is that both cakes, it was the letters were printed. And probably the younger people don't know how to do cursive. So they can't make the cake look fancy.
That's the fourth grade.
It's all in block letters, not in script.
Well, I think your cake, Rich, probably came from Villa Italia, right? More than likely.
Yeah, I think so.
The cookies did. So, and they have a beautiful artist that does their cakes. So I think the moral of that story is Villa Italia.
It was either Villa Italia or it was Blue Rose.
Oh, Blue Rose. Oh, you don't have a picture of
any residents. When you're in the town, those are the two spots you got to go to.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
I think didn't we go to a bakery with you and Jay?
Yes, No, I don't think Jay was there, but Blue Rose.
Okay, you went to Blue Rose. I thought so.
Loved it.
All right. So, yep, another cake debacle. At least it didn't look like a gigantic penis. That was the bright side.
That was the comic relief side. Yes.
And it was a nice little fellowship after Jeremy was ordained a deacon.
Do you enjoy your atheist cake?
Atheist cake.
And so we're going to be looking out to maybe some of the current events and some other things that are going on. But first, I have like a couple TikToks and shorts that I wanted to share with you, and just to get your reaction. And so let me bring up the first one here.
Is this Andrew?
And that's a big part of the reason.
We're the best. Who's the easiest race to trick?
So if you're talking about ethnic race, so ethnic race it's really difficult because it's based on education. But when it comes to race as a subcontext of nationalistic pride, it's Americans.
We're the easiest ones to trick.
We're the most ignorant culture in the world.
That's fire. Number one. We're always number one. Nobody can top us.
And that's a big part of the reason.
We're the best. Who's the easiest race to trick?
If you're talking about ethnic.
So that man worked for the CIA.
Yes, that was a great episode. If anybody is watching this and you don't know what flagrant is, like, you need to go to the channel Flagrant. Oh my God. Wow. Love their podcast. Love that episode was fantastic.
Okay. And that's on YouTube and
yeah, everywhere.
Okay.
And they have a Patreon. I suggest you sign up for that.
So what do you think, that we're the easiest race to trick?
I'm not surprised.
I feel like it depends. Like if the president tells us a lie, we're probably gonna believe it, right? I mean, but I don't know. Like, in general, I don't know if we're that naive.
I don't know. I feel like I think we gotta look at like our elderly gets tricked all the time. Like all the time. And this is the same generation that trusted no one, did it all themselves, and they get tricked by foreigners in another country. Then we can look at our youth. Reading level is not even good enough. We get a trick everywhere. Just point the subject. Americans are getting tricked. That's what it is.
What do you think, Pat?
I think that would be a great test. Like have some sort of survey each country. Well, you know how everybody gets tricked by the Nigerians and we're sending them money.
Yes, exactly, Pat.
Do that. Have like a survey and call a representative from each country to see who falls for it. And
we'll probably win, just because most other countries don't really, they don't really have a lot of money, especially the older people.
But in a way, if we're being sympathetic and we're gullible, that's probably a good thing. Where other people are not as generous, other countries may not be as generous. So maybe if you look at it that way, that we're more generous, we're more sympathetic, we'll give to people because we're gullible.
I watched somebody talk about how, which was sad, that a family member almost got tricked by this. They said that this person was in jail, their grandchild was in jail, and everything else like that. And they never contacted anybody. They never said, "Oh, let me call my grandchild's father and mother to double check this." They actually went the opposite and was like, "Oh, let's keep it a secret." So it's interesting, and that happens daily to to a lot of Americans. And it's not just how elderly, there's young folks. It's just,
I think the best is when
simple
they
one.
do that. I think the best is when they do that to someone that doesn't even have like a grandkid, but they still fall for it. It's like, come on, grandma. It's like, wait, my son had a kid? No way. And you're in jail?
Yeah, man, no.
They showed
So-
something 2020. I don't know what channel it was, but the woman she was over the top. Oh my God, you have my grandson. Where can I send the money? She and then finally the scammers would hang up on her because she just went way overboard. It was hilarious. I can't remember if it was on Entertainment Tonight or something. But but I think when you play on somebody's fear, you're going to, you're going to help. So maybe in that way, if we are the most gullible, maybe that's a good thing. Because we're generous. We're generous people, or we're very fearful.
So Mo, you saw the whole episode. Was he commenting on the level in which the American public is propagandized?
I would say that I think that the best way, because I don't want to mix his words because it's been a few weeks, so I can't quote it directly, but I will say that he is a man, he's very loyal to the country. He understands the systematic problem of it, and being part of the CIA, he understands that it's an old fella, tap you on the shoulders, good fellas, boy club, good old boy club type of situation going on over there, and power isn't exchanged correctly. And he says it throughout the whole thing that CIA runs like a DMV.
And what do you mean by that?
And I think, and that's why I'm thinking, watch it.
Okay,
that's what I would say to you. Watch it. And tell me, come back to me and let me know what your perspective is. I'll watch it again.
If that's true, if what you're saying is true, and he claims that the FBI is ran like the DMV, that means the FBI is terrible.
CIA.
Because the DMV sucks. I don't know if you've been there before, but it sucks. It takes forever. You're waiting online for an hour to get into another line for another hour.
I would love to be able to talk. Hopefully, if one day talk to this man myself, because he is pro-American. He is for our country. He's trying to release a book. I hope that book is released because it's really hard to get anything published. CIA's agents to get anything published because of their job description. So he's been trying to get a book published to give us a closer look into the life and missions and activities of what our agents are doing and what their job looks like, and hopefully why we should pay for this.
So last episode, I made an admission, and that I'm a Putin puppet. And that
Putin got his hand up your butt. Got you.
And that Putin was going to be making more appearances. So hold on to your hats, everybody, because here it comes again. Here we go.
I'm holding on.
Propaganda is working on me.
Where do you find these? Where do you find these? Do you just have a playlist?
My camera's on pause for a second. I'm sorry.
I thought you were hiding because you no longer want to be associated with the show.
Oh, my camera. No, I was trying to. It just fell.
So we brought in Vladimir Putin back into the show once again. And
I was propaganda. Whoever made that beat, I was like,
yeah, the beat was good.
I was hoping somebody started rapping, but apparently no.
So as of 1:40 p.m. this afternoon, this was exclusive on Reuters that Putin wants Ukraine ceasefire on current front lines. Russian President Vladimir Putin is ready to halt the war in Ukraine with a negotiated ceasefire that recognizes the current battle lines. 4 Russian sources told Reuters, saying he is prepared to fight on if Kiev and the West do not respond. 3 of the sources familiar with the discussions in Putin's entourage said the veteran Russian leader had expressed frustration to a small group of advisors about what he views as Western-backed attempts to stymie negotiations and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky's decisions to rule out talks. EJ, is the West going to agree to negotiations?
All right, so to be fair, right, because I was thinking about this the other day, I'm shocked that Russia did not just run over them yet, because they have so many more people, like soldiers. Like, I don't understand how they didn't win yet.
Well,
we might just because it looks like Ukraine might not win, so we might have to sit down and do some talks.
Right now, the thing about this situation is that we have the weaponry. Our weapons are far.
I mean, we have the weapons, but it's about Ukraine.
And we are supplying them, the Ukrainians, with those weapons. So at the end of the day, our weapons are superior, and if we can get what we can get over there, it does damage. Now, I think that is very important that we need to sit down and talk in the West. It's in the West's best interest to actually sit down and have a conversation, because right now we're not looking so good in the world's eye, and we need to pick our battles correctly.
And Pat, what do you think?
Follow the money. That's where it seems to go, is follow the money. Who's going to benefit the most?
Yeah.
And that's where, but I don't know. I don't
think that they're going to go for it.
History repeats itself all the time, though. Haven't we been here before with negotiations like this? Or is this something brand new?
Well, in the beginning of the war, Russia and Ukraine did come to an agreement, and NATO sent Boris Johnson to kill it. So now there's So
what you're saying is they had a nice agreement on the table, and then
there was an agreement on the table, and now there's a half a million
NATO.
Now there's a 500,000 dead Ukrainians.
So this random guy from NATO kind of messed everything up, is what you're saying.
Yeah, he's a former prime minister of the UK.
He's like, that might benefit you, Ukraine, but how does it benefit NATO?
And Mo, it's looking like our weaponry is not superior anymore.
Oh, is there a new device on the playing field?
Well, from what I understand, I thought that we were sending them kind of like not the top tier gear, because we didn't want to send them our good stuff.
Well,
because they're not really trained. So let's say they start getting beat, right? Then they're gonna run, and then the Russians get the weapons we gave them, So I just assumed that we give them the not top tier, good, best quality kind of stuff. We give them like the middling, guns and whatever.
So from the people that I listen to, like the guys on the Duran, watch Judge Napolitano's show on YouTube, He has on people like Max Blumenthal, John Mearsheimer, Jeffrey Sachs, Scott Ritter, forgetting that other colonel's name. Another man from the military and the State Department, former State Department, Wilkerson. This is where I'm getting all my information from. A couple guys from the CIA, Aaron Mattei. That Russia has gone through the hard knocks when they first moved into Ukraine, and they got smacked in the face more than I think they expected to get smacked in the face. But they use that as the learning experience. So they've got that under the belt. And yes, Ukraine has been given a lot of leftovers from the West. We have given them some, there's been several red lines crossed that Biden said we won't send them this, but then we sent them that. And then, then the UK went so far as to send them weapons within, I think it's, what is it called? It's not enriched uranium. It's called something else. And basically you could say that they're nuclear weapons.
They're giving them
depleted uranium. These are the weapons that we used in Iraq during the Iraq War. That are causing to this day increasing birth defects in Iraq. It does things like babies are born with all their internal organs on the outside.
What?
Yeah.
That can't be real. That's not real. That's crazy. How do you live like that? What are you, just bubble boy?
You don't live like that.
You're just in a giant bubble the rest of your life?
No, it's just that this depleted uranium affects people that way. And I guess if soldiers are getting directly exposed to it, there's nothing that can be done. They will just eventually die from it.
Well, hopefully Russia is taking those weapons back.
So yeah, I think Russia's gotten to the point where they want to get, and I know that a lot of people believe that the Biden administration won't stop the war until after the election.
Listen, war is good for his campaign. That's the only thing that's kind of keeping him relevant. It's like, yeah, we'll help this country, we'll help them, we'll send them this and that. I think if there was no wars going on, like Biden would have nothing to do. He'd just be Trump all day. That's all. My predecessor, like, have you seen those videos where he's like, it's a compilation of how many times he says predecessor? It's crazy. All he talks about is Trump.
Well, speaking of that, that's a nice transition to another video I've got. So I'd like to show this, and we'll stop it and talk about it as we go through. This is
why I'm in high demand, Pastor, because I can transition with the best of them.
I know. I mean, you are on point. Yeah, and you're actually challenging the podcaster of all podcasters.
I can't wait to see what kind of footage you got this time. I wonder who's going to run for the Democrats. It can't be Sleepy Joe again, right? There's no way.
Oh.
So, Pat, what do you think of Donald Trump?
Well, the first time around I voted for him, not this time. I think I lost total respect for the man. I've never seen January 6th happen before in my lifetime. No, I just, first time, yes, I voted for him. The second time, I really wish, what's her name? The one that got out of the primary last. Nikki Haley.
Oh yeah, you like Nikki
Haley.
Haley.
Nikki Haley's terrible.
like Nikki
Boo
Haley.
his.
Boo. Boo.
I lost total respect for Trump.
Isn't Nikki Haley the one that's trying to make the retirement age higher, like 70 or something?
Oh, probably. If she had her way, she'd probably make it 101.
Yeah, that's
That's
crazy.
trying to work to 101, bringing the
That's
worst.
crazy that she's.
I thought she was a great debater, and when she would challenge people, she did it from experience. She would say, "You're not going to get the votes. It won't go through Congress, blah, blah, blah." And I said, this person has experience. And I would laugh at what's the guy's name who's like Trump? What's the guy's name? He's the billionaire.
Ramaswamy.
That's the guy. Every time he would talk, she would tell him the facts about Congress and the way it works. And I just like the woman. I really wish that they would run her, but that's a.
So from what I'm hearing is she can debate and she can tell people why their plans aren't good or they won't work. But then her plans are to make all the old people suffer and not get paid till they're 70 or 80. I don't know.
And she would have us engaged in a war with half of the globe.
And to be honest with you, Pat,
I
do not want to work with you at 80 years old. Okay, not at 80. I want you to be on a beach, out the way, relaxing. I want all my 80-olds out the way, relaxing somewhere.
I'm not 80.
Not you.
Well, we know, but what we're saying is
if the retirement age is 80.
Yeah, if she gets in the office, you're not going to be able to retire and collect your money till you're like 80. So, or 70, it was like 75 or something, but still, that's crazy.
When people put on Facebook, how are you better off today than you were 4 years ago? And they put down the prices of milk and gas and this and that. Well, if you look at the stock market, it was at 20,000. Right now we're at 39,000. So I am better off today than I was 4 years ago.
So you have stocks?
Yes.
Really? In what? What do you invest in?
Well, before it was all GE. I worked for GE for 25 years. So I had a lot of GE stock, but now it's mutual funds and blah, blah, blah. But much better today than I was 4 years ago. Certainly the price of gas is more, the price of orange juice is more, but stocks went up. So I'm happy about that.
Okay.
So that's my thing. And then I have everybody from my family who refuses whatever. See, never in my lifetime did I ever see a family divided over politics. Never in my lifetime have I seen so much name calling. And now in the past 8 years, oh my God. I don't know. I think January 6th was, that hang Mike Pence. Well, if Mike Pence would do the right thing, come on. And what if they had hung him? Oh no, it has nothing to do. Oh, it was just a tour. Didn't one of the senators say that? No, it's just like a regular tour of the Capitol building. That wasn't a tour. People were killed. So yeah, January 6th, that was
rowdy tour in history. And over here, this flag was placed here in 1814.
That'd be so funny if there is that'd be so funny if you go through footage and there is somebody kind of like trying to keep it together, like this building was built back in so and someone smashing through the window.
So Pat, so what do you think about this statement? This is a statement was made by somebody that I listened to about January 6th.
Oh, let's hear it.
Let's hear it.
That all the gun nuts took over the Capitol and all of them forgot their guns.
I don't think all of them did forget their guns.
Nobody was armed when they went in there.
They were too.
They were not armed.
I know
were
people.
not armed.
I know people had
You don't have
stun guns and
to be
stuff.
armed. They were using the spear things. They had other. You don't have to have a gun to not have a weapon. How are they getting through the windows?
White
How
man's belly is the biggest weapon ever.
What's that?
White man's belly is the best weapon ever.
White man's belly is the best
Are you
weapon.
saying that the fat people are the ones breaking down the doors?
I saw a lot of stomachs that day.
Well, how about the policemen screaming and crying? And
if this is the insurrection, yeah.
I'm like, I don't even think
there were no what is that called? Planet Fitness subscriptions climbing that wall.
I am not worried about any white folks who want slavery back after watching that. Okay.
From what I understand, I was actually watching a video about the January 6th, and apparently, like you said, they weren't armed, but a lot of the security guards were. And one of the security guards was like telling a story about how like he kind of got jumped and they took his stuff, and then they kind of like crowd surfed him out. Like they just put him on top and just like threw him out because he was in the way. It was crazy. And then apparently
they could have beaten him up.
Well, no, they did as they were getting him out of there. They were crowd surfing him away, and like once he got like outside, like somebody tased him and stuff. And
oh, okay.
It was crazy.
All right. I think there's many different opinions on what the intensity of this was.
I mean, it was fine though until they started breaking windows.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, breaking windows, harming police officers, security guards. There were professionals that did get hurt there. So, and people did lose their life, right? So,
well, I don't think anyone except the woman that got shot, right?
Wasn't there somebody that got trampled?
I don't know.
I remember the report
because I know that the report of deaths is questioned. Because I think one police officer died of a heart attack, but it wasn't.
I heard about that one.
It wasn't until afterwards. It was like a couple days later.
And one was suicide. I remember that one.
It was a suicide one? Why he killed himself?
The trauma.
Because he let them down. He let the people get in.
The trauma made a man kill himself?
That's crazy.
That's what I remember.
It can't be that. No, it can't be that. It can't. Out of all the traumas, a group of big, burly white men in hats and MAGA hats and shorts and no shirt terrified this man to death.
No, I think it was the mass, the masses going in and trying to protect the Capitol. It was the trauma of the day. Nobody expects that would happen at the Capitol. And you could see with the footage that they show over and over again, how they were trying to shield themselves and they were just trampled on as they were coming in, and they were throwing those the barricade things there. They were throwing them at the police. I think everybody was scared. And I think in his, I don't know, I wasn't there, and I'm glad I wasn't there. But
yeah.
even showing who's the Republican that they always show running down the hall. I love it. He was one of the most scared, and he's one of the ones that say, oh, it was just like a tourist day, which they show him running because he's so scared.
So when I Googled,
everybody back into that day. And
so when I Googled the event, it says within the 36 hours, and this is just the first Google thing that pops up. 5 people died. One was shot by Capitol Police. Another died of a drug overdose. And
wow.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that. And 3 3 died of natural causes. Is getting trampled on natural causes?
No.
Oh, I'm assuming they mean like that guy that had a heart attack. Like that's natural. That's crazy. I know one of my friend was telling me like maybe like a couple days after it happened, he was like, "Oh yeah, I was talking to my dad today, and he said he was in DC on the 6th." So I was like, "You telling me your dad was there?" He's like, "No, he wasn't there." I'm like, "Oh, you sure? You sure he's not telling you that?"
Pat would have got everybody out. Pat would have saved. No.
Well, how about the guy
Stop.
They showed the guy. Oh my goodness, my umbrella just fell over. Holy cow.
Yeah, it is pretty windy out today.
It is. You should see it. Let me see if I can show you my. Look at that. Can you see it?
Oh, that's a beautiful.
Oh, is that the red thing?
Yeah. The red thing.
Yeah. It's tipped right over. Wow.
Wow, it's right. One time we came home and it was in this thing. It flew and it ripped this thing.
Oh, Lord.
Wow. You got a nice setup. What's it like living on that patio?
I'm gonna do drugs on your patio. It looks really nice.
I believe we're almost done, Rich. We're almost there. All we need now is the island. Our contractor came today and closed us out. He's done.
Oh,
now
nice.
We just need other people. Yeah, so we're moving everything back in a little at a time.
So when the island comes, who's going to install that?
That is going to be Paul Perry Kitchens.
Okay.
That's over in Scotia.
Okay.
And they'll be putting that on, and then we'll be good.
Beautiful. Well, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. But it's such a beautiful day out. That's why I came outside today.
Yeah.
Except for the wind. I don't like that umbrella. I hate to see Ken go in the pool to get it out.
So let's take a look at this video.
Yeah, let's take a look.
So here's CNN, and they figured out that all this fear-mongering that Nicole Wallace and all the people saying that Trump's going to... It's not working. In fact, Trump is winning in Nevada, Georgia, Arizona. Watch this.
Look, these Sun Belt battlegrounds, frankly, for the Joe Biden campaign, these numbers are an absolute disaster. The smallest lead is in Arizona for Donald Trump. He's up 6. Look at this, 9 in Georgia, 13 in Nevada. My goodness gracious.
My goodness gracious.
You got the vapors from it. Sassy like Tupac in high school, you know?
My goodness gracious. Okay, here we go.
Gracious, my God. That is a huge lead. No Democrat has lost that state since John Kerry lost it back in 2004. How about these Great Lake battleground states? This is something that the Joe Biden campaign can work with. Look, Pennsylvania, Donald Trump up 3, but that's well within the margin of error. Wisconsin, Donald Trump up 1, well within the margin of error. And actually, a Joe Biden lead well within the margin of error, up a point here. This state can work with the Joe Biden campaign. This, the Donald campaign.
I like how they look. Look, he's still losing here, but God, that's good, isn't it?
Does Michigan have Stockholm syndrome? Like, what is going on in that state that you're like, Democrat all the way? It doesn't matter how many bears move into empty houses next to me in my neighborhood.
I can answer that for you.
So what do you think?
That's funny.
I mean,
it's true. I mean, we've known that Trump's been winning. I mean, that's kind of why Nikki Haley had to drop out, right? Because she was getting destroyed too.
I mean, the biggest rival in history is right here, right now, Donald Trump versus Joe Biden. And it's like a featherweight going against a heavyweight right now. And I think we know who's the featherweight. But it's really, I can't believe I've tapped out of this. Last thing I saw was Biden saying, "I'll debate you anywhere, anytime." I said, "Oh, you want to get smoked?" Like this man. How many drugs are they going to put in this man to debate Trump?
Well, they'll probably pump him up with a lot. I mean, look at he was manic during the State of the Union address. You know,
I saw a video.
He was hopped up on the drugs.
Oh,
I saw a video of Joe kind of talking about Trump and how he's not that smart, and like he is, like his schooling wasn't all that. And then like I guess somebody like the person that made this video also had edited another video in of Joe back in his younger days, where he was lying about, oh, I went to this school and I graduated with this and that, and I went there for free because I had a full ride. It turns out all of that was not true.
It was a lie. Yeah.
So, I mean, if Joe's good at one thing, he's good at lying. So if he says he's winning, it's probably not true.
You know what's interesting? I just thought about this. What they needed to do was get the most hoodest black man that been in prison like twice.
Someone that's not Kamala Harris, right? Like the complete
just to try to be the president. and they just let him debate against Trump for Biden. You ain't gonna talk to me like that. You just get and I'll snap your neck right now.
Sit your old ass down.
They just need a black man to represent for Joe Biden.
So Pat, any thoughts?
No, it's just so, I don't know. It's like everybody sees everything wrong with Biden, but it's okay for Trump in Georgia to want to find 11,800 votes that weren't his. That's okay.
I think
there's a lot of things that Trump does that's not okay, but I still would rather somebody that has all their mental faculties and knows where he is instead of Joe, who gets lost on stage.
I want Trump to lose, but I don't understand why they gave us a losing battle. Like, this wasn't the right guy.
No, it's not. I totally agree, but I would never vote for Trump again.
I mean, they could have pulled out Gavin Newsom. I mean, he seems to be the most logical choice, the governor of California. They could have just said, I mean, you go back in history when Johnson, didn't run for re-election, that Biden could have just bowed out and allowed somebody younger to come in.
Totally agree.
That should be a thing too. Is that they need to like put an age limit on how old you can be when you run for president. You can't be like 80 running for president.
They're not going to pass that, but I totally agree with you.
You can't have no senile person running the country.
Right.
If you need 7+ drugs in your body to operate through life, sit your old ass down. Please relax, chill.
Hold on. Trump may have done a lot of questionable things, right? But can we confirm that when he was in the office, there were no drugs found in the White House? At least that's something, right?
That we know of.
Hey, the drugs we know are the drugs we talk about.
He wasn't doing coke.
Another thing. He can bring boxes and boxes and boxes of top secret things to Mar-a-Lago, and
Joe did that too, though. Joe has documents.
Joe did it as vice president and didn't have.
Joe's
didn't have the right to do that.
Not to the volume that Trump did. And
that's true, but he shouldn't have taken anything now.
Well, Pat, a secret is still a secret, no matter how many secrets you got.
The secrets that he showed the people, and look what I got in this box. This is such and such. I worked at Capel, Knowles Atomic Power Lab. I had one sheet of paper go underneath the Xerox machine because we had no air conditioning. It was an oscillating fan. So I was copying like a 200-page report. One sheet was taken out by oscillating fan, put underneath the Xerox machine. Well, guess what? I got an infraction because one sheet of paper was found underneath Xerox.
Now, you want to know why that happened? because you're not the president. You got to be the
One
president
page.
to
This
lose
guy has
documents.
boxes and boxes and boxes and brags about it. Brags about what he's got stored there. Oh, I got this, I got that. One sheet of paper and I get an infraction. But it's okay for him to have thousands of people.
The president can declassify anything he wants.
Oh, yeah, it's mine. All I have to do is think it's declassified.
No, legally, he can declassify anything he wants to.
Are you saying that if Trump wins, he can tell us about all the UFO stuff? If he wants?
He could.
Damn.
He could declassify the JFK stuff, but the powers that be took him in a room and talked to him and scared the heck out of him.
I'll tell you something right now, Pastor. If he says that, like
another world's creature.
Like when he starts running, you know, and then giving his speeches, if he says that, like, I will declassify UFOs and JFK, I think he'll win for sure, 100%. People vote for him just so we can find out what's happening.
If you said that on TV and like really promised, and you meant that, and you were like, I'm just saying, I'll take a bullet for the team. Right?
Pastor, wasn't there another president that promised that? Like, oh, I'll release the UFO stuff, and then like when he got in, he never did it.
I don't know, but I thought Biden said that he was gonna declassify. I don't know. I don't quote me.
I mean, we listen. The one good thing about Biden's thing is we've had the alien conversation more. And they've been, you know, people have been sending out theories and supposed whistleblowers are coming out and saying, so there's information being released and things and people reading it online. So, I mean, yeah.
You know what's funny is they probably figure since he's got so much dementia, like they could tell him all the secrets and he'll just never remember. They'll be like, yeah, there are actually aliens here right now. What? Who?
Yeah, the guy on the corner, right?
So we got to check in with Pat. So because I think Pat's back is up. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. But as far as the UFOs go, you have so many years before they can release all the information. And once that year is met, then they can. And that's the same thing with the Kennedy assassination. It hasn't reached that year yet.
Well, they have reached a certain years on certain documents, and they haven't declassified them yet.
Mm-hmm.
There are some documents that are behind.
No FOIA can get them. I guess you can't use FOIA to get them.
No,
even though like the time has come.
No.
And if you have access to any of these documents, please put it on Minecraft once again.
So, you know, I heard, speaking of the Kennedy assassination, I heard recently probably the most plausible theory that I've heard in since this is, you know, I've been paying attention to it. That, you know, they point to the mafia, they point to the CIA. They point to other influences in the government and outside the government. And one person that's been researching this, he believes this was all of them.
Exactly. I was just about to say that. I'm like, it doesn't have to be one group.
And that this was actually a coup that that the United States has been living under ever since.
So what you're saying is they assassinated them, and they're like the new shadow government. We just don't know.
That's about what they're saying.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So pretty much Joe isn't even the president. Then is what you're telling me.
Well, he's the president, but you know, I mean,
but he's just a face, though.
Yeah, I mean, if you listen to alternative media, you know that they've identified some of the operations in Ukraine have gone off without presidential authority, and that the CIA is driving a lot of the Ukrainian war.
Well, that makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a business. Our country is still a business first. It needs to run. It has to constantly run. And the people, that run it, they understand in their reality that like it doesn't run without blood. So blood has to be shed for it to run. And it has always been run on blood. Now, whether we acknowledge that or not, it's up to us. But we know it's to be true that we run on blood.
Yeah, that's an astute comment. So we're I think we're getting close to an hour. So I want to just play a little bit more of this video, and Mo will be asking you to comment on this next segment.
Into the numbers, why do you think Biden is doing better in the Great Lakes and Trump is doing so much better in the Sun Belt?
Yeah, the Trump coalition is changing. That's basically what's cooking here. This is at least one of the big reasons why. So this is among likely voters in all these battleground states we just spoke about. Back in 2020, 84% of the Trump campaigns of the Trump coalition was white. Look where it is now. It's 78%. The non-white portion of the Trump coalition, it was 13% in 2020. Look at this now. It's 19%. So the Trump coalition is becoming more diverse. And of course, those Sun Belt battleground states are more diverse than the Great Lake battleground states.
You're looking at...
So Donald Trump is doing better where there's more people of color, and Joe Biden is doing better where there's all white people. It's the exact opposite of what the narrative is in the.
Well, a lot of those people ain't black now.
Oh, shit.
And where are the 3% of Trump's coalition? They just don't exist. There's 3%.
It's not even a coalition.
Yeah.
You showed me the footage of people protesting.
What's your
So
question?
Mo, what do you think?
About what exactly?
If it's true.
The migration of people of color to the orange man.
Listen, being orange is definitely an interesting way of joining the circle. I mean, he is a minority looking like that. So, and
I mean, technically he's colored, right? He counts as colored. Orange is a color.
Orange is a color, and he is now a minority. So, I mean, we're not totally wrong for going for orange. I mean, we like oranges. We are,
My God.
love orange juice. Big fan. I like what mine's with pulp, but hey, listen, Black Americans, color Americans we're bored of the old boring white man. We really think that if white people are going to be this crazy, you might as well be entertaining while doing it, y'all have been slacking in the entertainment department. And we love a good crazy white man. Black people love seeing white people freak the hell out. We love it. It's like our little secret inside. It was we love it to watch a white person freak out in public or have breakdowns to a Black person is like karma.
So what you're saying is it's funny when Joe's lost on stage, but it's not better than Trump yelling and arguing with somebody.
Because these are two, yeah, exactly. It's funny, but we don't want dead white men.
You don't want sad funny. You want ha funny.
Yeah. We don't need a guy that we feel bad for Joe, right? We're looking at Joe as this is not right. We need to
let him retire already.
He needs a sippy straw and a bed. He's not entertaining. He's just not fun to listen to. Everything he says, you're like, why are you saying it to us? He's always telling you a story that never happened. So, he's always making up characters right in front of you. He's still using politics from 200 years ago and talking to us like we're all stupid. No one wants to be talked to like we're stupid, but then you got Trump, he's stupid. So, he's entertaining because a stupid white man is the funniest thing in the world, It just makes us feel a little bit better,
I saw this funny video where this lady was asking Trump about pretty much about that, about I guess his Black supporters, and The way she said it, like she was trying to call him racist, and he was like, "How dare you? That's up. I love my black people, and they love me. That's why they're voting for me."
Yeah, yeah. We do love him. We love that there's a person who is white that other white folks get to say, I hate that white. You know? So now we can share the hate now.
So your brothers in arms
like,
then.
Yeah, you know, his brother, hey, you know, we finally
I hate you too. All right.
we finally get to point at a certain type of white and say, we don't like him either.
So at one point, Mo, you considered him as an option.
You know,
you were thinking about it. So
I was definitely thinking about it. You know, Trump is a
what
fun
changed?
What changed is that we need to really make change. And no matter what I do and how funny it is to pick the craziest white man to represent me in this world, as the big white papa of America, it is better for me. It is better for me to like at least give a new type of white a chance. I think we need to give a redneck a chance. Who understands the struggle. Because at least a redneck will understand what it's like to have drugs in your community and bad education. So
to be fair to Trump, after all these court cases and all this, he's gonna be struggling. He's gonna be broke. He's gonna know what it's like. You just need to give him more time.
I don't think that's that case,
he's gonna know about the struggle.
He ain't that broke. You don't know that much of a struggle, you know. So
have you seen how much they're trying to take from him? I would assume he's gonna be broke after that.
So Pat, you were gonna say something?
Well, it's about his money. Years ago, remember when the Trump Plaza, I mean, the one in Atlantic City was going under? He was going bankrupt with that one.
Yep.
I worked with a guy at GE who told me that Trump sent his private plane to the Schenectady airport to pick him up, to take him to the Trump Taj Mahal it was, because his father in France gave him billions to help him out because he was going bankrupt. So Trump was so happy that this guy's father did it. He sent him the private jet, gave him the Trump Taj Mahal and other things. He's broke. He wants to show that he's got so much money. He's such a billionaire. And yet he's always borrowing. So when he says Mar-a-Lago's worth $2 billion and he gets all of this other money to make all of these other places, it's not his money. He keeps borrowing. And when I found out from this guy whose father bailed him out, he puts on this facade that he is so great because
I actually saw a video that he lied about his worth, like how much his house was worth, Mar-a-Lago. I heard it wasn't even worth that much either.
Yeah.
But back then, this was 1990, I think it was. He was absolutely broke. And this guy's father, who's a billionaire, lives in the south of France, bailed him out. And then every time on email, send me money, send me $5 and I will triple match it. Why? Why am I going to send you $5 so you can triple match it? Use your own $5. And then every time he gets into trouble, he uses that as a money maker. When he put his face on those T-shirts, his mugshot, he made millions that week.
Oh,
he
yeah.
knows how to play the game. And everybody falls for it. And that's how he's making his money. And then when he doesn't pay his workers, how many people say that he owes them? And well, I'll just sue them. I'm not going to pay them. I'll just sue them. And then how many people in his cabinet turned on him?
You're making this man sound really American right now.
Let me ask you something.
Really? It sounds like, hey, there's a lot of people without the big house that's doing exactly what he's doing, is trying to get money and live out here. So
Well, wait a second. I gotta ask you something here. The last time we had a president that we respected was Barack Obama. Am I right?
That's true.
He's the last one we respected. Before him, everybody thought George W. Bush was crazy, but he made it 2 terms. Before him was Clinton. Clinton, he was charismatic. He was great. He had all of his sexual problems. The only president that has not had the crack is Barack Obama. So if he were to run against Trump today, who would win?
I don't know.
Probably.
I mean, I wouldn't vote for either one of them.
Me neither. I actually
because
wouldn't vote.
Barack Obama defrauded me. He ran as if he was Franklin Delano Roosevelt, and then governed as George Herbert Walker Bush. So he can take his hope and change and go somewhere.
I mean, that man had. What I liked about Obama is when he lied to me, he did it with a great smile. You know?
Yeah, he. What's the word? What do you?
Eloquently deception.
He had game. Is that
game? Yeah. yeah. There you go. I was trying to go the educated route. He went to the hood route.
As a society, weren't we better off respectfully with him than we are with all of this chaos that Trump created?
Oh no.
Well, let me just say this. Hold on, Mo. Let me just come in with this point, because it's come up several times during our conversation. That the reason that we have Biden and Trump again, and the reason why that Trump was able to excel to the point that he got is it is a symptom of a sick system. That Barack Obama was he presented himself as a very upstanding man, but when the crash of 2008 came, he bailed out the lenders instead of bailing out the borrowers. And that our economy would have been much better off if he had bailed out the borrowers, if he had left people in their homes. I mean, it wasn't me that said it; it was Cornel West that called him the poster child for Wall Street, the black poster child for Wall Street. And that's why I felt betrayed by him, because he ran as if he was Franklin Delano Roosevelt, but then he governed from as directed by Wall Street. And the fact that 90% of the people that he killed in his drone war were innocent people. He was bombing funerals and weddings.
What?
Yes. He had a daily kill list that he approved. So that's as far as presidents come, I mean, I don't put one above the other, because we just have no idea. I mean, some of this heinous stuff has to take place when you're the executive of what was the most powerful country in the world. Now that's questionable. But other stuff just didn't need to happen.
Mm-hmm.
See, that I didn't know about.
Yeah.
Well, I just miss the respect. I miss the civility.
And that's understandable.
I am. Yeah.
That's what we need back again.
So let me bring up this. Let me bring this up here. So if you're looking for somebody that you can vote for with a clearer conscience, this is Jill Stein for president. She's running to be the Green Party candidate. And that we are hoping and that we are praying that she does get on the New York State ballot. Her slogan is people, planet, peace over profit. Jill Stein, 2024.com. And some of the things that she wants to do is raise the minimum wage to $25 an hour, abolish student and medical debt, end the endless wars and genocide, guarantee affordable housing, healthcare, education, jobs, reproductive freedom as human rights, and phase out fossil fuel production and transition to a green economy. And that's some of the things that she'd like to attempt to do. I'm voting for her because she wants to take us out of these wars.
So just like how you said you don't like Obama because he said he told you one thing and did another. What's stopping this lady from the same thing, from doing the same thing to you?
Yeah, what's stopping her from picking up the phone and going, execute all of them?
What's stopping her from picking up the phone and calling you?
There's nothing, EJ. There's nothing. But
and has she like given kind of like a roadmap of how she's gonna get this? You know, it's easy to say I want to do this or I'm gonna do this, but has she even shown like any kind of roadmap of how to get any of this done at all?
Well, I would say that the things that she wants to do would be difficult to do, especially if there weren't Green Party members that were elected into the Congress and the Senate. The thing about it is in what people that especially the Democratic Party has, I think, done the most in the last 20 years of trying to squash third-party candidates by suing them in every state that they try to get on the ballot. I just lost my train of thought. Darn it.
They're suing people for third-party people for getting on the ballots.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right. That the Democratic Party and sometimes the Republican Party will tell you that it is a wasted vote to vote for a third-party candidate, but we have to define what the word win means. A win for a third-party candidate would be to get 5% of the popular vote in the United States, which would entitle the third party to put up a candidate the next time around to vote for president, and that candidate would be able to join the Republican and the Democrat on the debate stage. And it should be noted that in the 80s, that it used to be the League of Women Voters that used to run the debates, and that you would be able to get on the debate stage if you could. There was a mathematical possibility that you could get enough electoral votes to win as president. And so what that did was put, oh shoot, what was his name?
Ross Perot?
Yep. Was to put Ross Perot on the ballot. And since Ross Perot pulled votes away from the Republican and that Bill Clinton won, that both parties were willing to come together and say, to start imposing rules on the way people could get on a debate stage. The League of Women Voters says we're not going to comply with those rules. So now the debates have been run by the two major parties themselves, by their own rules.
Saying, so the big overall message that I'm hearing is the only time the red and blue teams come together is against green. It's the only time they'll agree on stuff.
Well, you could put it that way, yes. But what I would like to encourage anybody, especially who lives in the state of New York, that if you want to vote for somebody else other than the two corporate candidates for war, then pull, or we don't pull levers anymore, vote for Jill Stein on your ballot in an attempt to get her that 5% nationally, because it's almost guaranteed that New York State's electoral votes are going to go for Joe Biden.
But how do we get this message out to everybody?
We just keep telling people.
You know, the news never says this.
Well, if I register to vote, I'm totally
I
voting for the orange man.
What you're talking about, the 5%, that's a good thing. I want all of the television stations to cover that. I want them to say, vote for her, so we get that third party.
Well, they won't. And there's
She's gonna raise the minimum wage to $25 an hour. She's gonna give all the immigrants all the free stuff they ever wanted. It sounds great. It's lovely.
They're gonna come in your house, take your blanket.
Yeah. You're gonna have to let the immigrants move in with you, Pastor.
You
gotta share your
here comes
residence
old
now.
Uncle EJ
She's
rearing his bigoted head.
Yeah, but what a great idea to have that third party, a legitimate third party. That's where we're going to put our attention.
Yeah, to at least inspire the debate to talk about things that the Republicans and the Democrats will not talk about.
Exactly.
So you were saying that if she gets 5%, she gets to go on stage, or next
it will be the next 4 years.
Okay. So this is not for her to get in now. It's for someone else in the third party to get in
right
next time. Okay.
Because I doubt that she would run again, because I think she was done. I think she ran in 2012. She ran in 2016. She did not run in 2020.
You got to be running out of campaign funds.
But the thing is that Cornel West was going to run for the Green Party candidate, and apparently he couldn't work with the Greens, and they couldn't work with him. Unfortunately, Cornel West's presidential campaign has been an absolute train wreck. I mean, he should step out before he does any more damage to his reputation. But so Jill Stein jumped back in. So
Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
Oh yeah, we forgot RFK. I was enthusiastic about him at the beginning. I'm not so enthusiastic about him now.
I don't think I want my president to speak the way he speaks.
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like it would be hard for me to listen to him, and that sounds really crazy. I think he needs like a whole nother translator, because I really don't even understand half the he's saying sometimes. But when I read what he's saying, I like it. I like his thoughts, but the voice, and I'm so sorry, but the voice is hard. I'm blind, and my hearing is amazing, and I can't understand him sometimes.
Well, even his own family doesn't want him to run. That's what makes me laugh. His own family saying, "Don't vote for him."
So, so this is gonna. So we're making this a long episode. Before we leave, I want to get to this part, and that perhaps Pat remembers this guy when Clinton was president, and just take a look. These people just are always part of the workings of our political systems. They never, ever, ever retire. They never retire. No one retires.
You got to be talking about the Supreme Court, man.
Oompa Loompas?
Oh, that's right.
One goes.
So then they bring out. So then they bring out this guy. You know who this guy is, right? This is James Carville, former Clinton advisor.
Oh, I thought it was Jack Skellington from The Nightmare Before Christmas.
By the way, talk about dressing for success. Am I right?
He looks like
he's gonna shed that shirt like a snake. What is that shirt?
See what he said. He hasn't washed that shirt since 1999. That's what that is.
He's been down in the bayou catching frogs.
Yeah, that is definitely
in his teeth.
A Mardi Gras shirt.
Hey, what if I go through my hamper and pick out a shirt I haven't? Anyway, so
he just unhinged his jaw and swallowed someone's dog whole before this.
So they're just admitting that all the fear mongering that they're doing about Donald Trump isn't working, And let's listen.
You want to say it's going the wrong way. It's not working. Everything that we're throwing is spaghetti at a wall, and none of it is sticking, me included. And it's hard when you start in your 80th year, and you know, like anybody else, I have an opinion of myself, and the opinion I've come to is I don't matter. It doesn't matter. You can prepare, you can be on TV, or you can write pieces, you can have a YouTube channel, you can have a podcast, and nothing. And, you know, we gotta like try to think of something different, because what we're doing is really, really not working.
Wait, what? Okay, wait, Jimmy.
You just wandered off.
That's his pep talk.
He just first of all, number one, he just announced that he's transitioning. Number two, what happened to It's the Economy, stupid? The thing you made up.
The thing he made up.
Think of your greatest hit. It's the Economy, stupid. Try to do something with that.
And it's like nothing's working. When we say Trump's going to take away your democracy, it doesn't work. When he say his followers are insurrectionists, it doesn't work. When we try to say that he is going to end journalism, it doesn't work. And nothing works. I mean, if it gets any worse, we're going to actually have to have a platform that helps people, and that's going to be horrible.
I might as well revert to my full serpent form and go back to the fourth dimension.
They'll do any fucking thing in the world except do something that makes people vote for them. And that's what politicians are supposed to go do, is go out there and earn your vote, right? They're supposed to offer you something and make you want to vote for them. It never crosses their mind to make you offer them something that makes you vote for them. It never. It's like we did everything that we told them that they're going to shoot you up your ass with a fucking Cajun pepper. It didn't work. Nobody's afraid of Cajun pepper up their ass anymore.
That's a big old gator. Y'all have a gator.
They got that gator.
Awesome.
How about just like offer something that is pro-American, right? For Americans. Stop wanting to give away this to this country or that to that country. Stop passing laws that hinder us from doing this and hindering us from doing that. It's just like, give us something. Just something.
Just give us something. How about you give us health care that doesn't bankrupt us? How about that?
Hey, you know, strawberries cost $18 now.
How about you give us eggs that don't bankrupt you when you want to buy a fucking carton of eggs? How about you give us infrastructure that actually works? How about you give us a high-speed rail system that takes us from San Francisco to San Diego or to Las Vegas? How about you give us... How about you clean up the homelessness and you provide mental health care for all the mental cases that are on? How about you provide drug care for the addicts that are on the street so I can walk into a 7-Eleven without being accosted? How about you do something for... That nothing working. Nothing fucking working. Not working. We keep doing fucking anything for them.
I was about to say, you know, you went pretty long right there. You're going to have to clip a lot. You're going to have to clip. I want to say the whole time that old man was speaking, you just made me think. I was like, this guy is really upset about him not being able to traffic children right now. That whole outfit, that whole outfit. Do you pay attention to his background? Like, I kept wondering if that curtain had like a door behind it where there was a child, because I was like, this looks like a place a pedo will take a child. Like, this looks very odd. Like, I felt like he was giving us a clue, and we need to check out that location. The shirt. If you had to like say, you know, like when certain people wear certain things, or like a biker wears a leather jacket and he has a certain type of beard and black shirt and shorts, you know, you're like, oh, that guy looks like a biker. This guy looks completely like your children need to be away from him.
Away from him, yeah.
Just away from him. That he looked like he was Steve from Blue's Clues bad uncle. Like Steve.
Yeah, we coming at Steve like that. What's wrong with you?
No, bad uncle. No, Steve is great. This man looked like he dresses up as Steve to lure kids in. Like, it is very suspicious. The color choice, the pattern design, the hat on his head. I'm like, who is this guy? Like, why is he even dressed like that? You know, that's not a grandpa fit.
He gets weirder by the decade.
That's not a grandpa fit. That is, I like grandchildren. That's not mine. You know.
Mm-hmm.
He kept saying like things don't matter, this don't matter, that don't. Bro, I tell you right now, if Trump had a YouTube channel, that would totally matter. That would totally matter.
Yeah, if YouTube,
he would get so many more votes because he would be like, oh my god, like.
Well, he does have a channel on Rumble.
Oh God, what does he do?
They cover all his rallies.
It's not just him at just sitting
I'm just picturing like. I'm picturing
like
Trump
this.
in his room, like just talking.
Got a cup of coffee, MAGA cup of coffee. To the American people, good fucking morning. Joe, I hope
he's just like, we're gonna
I hope
react
you never
to
woke up today.
on stage today.
I would love that. I would love for Trump to just wake up every morning and just read off the list of people he hates so much. Joe Biden, die. I hope you didn't wake up this morning. That would make my day. I would work 10 times harder if I just did that.
So Pat, anything that
this is what the guy used to look like. His wife was Mary Madeline. She was the head of the Republican.
What happened to this man?
Yeah, that was him back then during the Clinton. But they used to always be sparring with each other, husband and wife.
Look, right there. He's telling you. Now he looks like the ice cream man. I'm telling you, this man is a danger to society. He is going with the wave. I think the only way to know how they are moving and trafficking is to look at this man's style. He is telling us something. He looks like an ice cream man right there. Like, he does not look like he belongs in any neighborhood.
So what did he used to do with Joe? He was like
he was a
Clinton advisor, and his wife was whoever was going against Clinton. That was Bush. No, wait a minute.
Clinton ran against first George Bush, and then
first Bush. That's
and then Bob Dole.
Bob Dole, come on, man. He was never gonna win.
Well, does anyone have any final comments for today?
Whoever this man is, investigate him, please, immediately. Every picture I see of this man, I am concerned for all our safety. He looks like a secret identity of a supervillain, you know? Just unthreatening, but it seems like he has too much power. We shouldn't allow people that look like that to have power ever.
Well, my final comment is it would be nice if somebody that was running for office did have a platform that offered the American people something. Let us remember that during this Biden administration that we've given over $300 billion to other countries to kill people.
Yeah. On that note,
can we just take care of our country first before we go and help?
I think that's the point.
That's what we need to do.
Point.
No.
Well, we end the episode the same way every time with a prayer. That Father God, I thank you that Mo and Pat and EJ were able to come on the show today, and I ask a blessing on them, a blessing on their families, and a blessing and the covering of the blood of Jesus over their homes. That, Lord, I ask that you bless all the listeners and watchers of the No Name Yet podcast, and that, God, we ask a blessing on the United States of America, that, God, that we ask for leadership that works for the American people, and that, God, that I ask that we ratchet down this constant war making, this constant killing, and that, Lord, that we could use our resources, that we could use our resolve to wage peace across the globe. So, Father God, I thank you for everything that you provided for me and for everybody that can hear my voice. And we pray these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
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 Thank you.
Good night.